All right, everyone, here we are with ticker symbol DPW, the #1 traded stock today. And it literally had a run. I believe it almost reached 250% and changed. And that is some strong gains from way down here at the $2 mark. And it rose up to about $9. I mean, that right there is strong. Actually, it was a little bit more. It was almost 300%. And now it's actually leveled off at 816. So what is it that we want to look for here on how this played out? So it's going to be super important to kind of break this down. I'm going to use the resistance level and support based off the last couple hours of the day, but I need you guys to pay close attention to how I break this down in other sections because it was such a bullish run. You're going to want to pay close attention to these numbers. And if it gets broken through, it doesn't signify right away that the bears have gained control over the chart or anything like that, but it just means that the bears are starting to gain control, and that way you can kind of break this down to see who is trying to dominate the chart. So the 50-day moving average is 361. Let's see if I can land exactly on that. There we go, 361. As long as we're above it, we're in bullish territory, and the moment we're below it, we're in bearish territory. So what are our supports and resistance? We're going to look at that just a moment. And resistance needs to be broken through so that the bulls can continue this run. I definitely want to go ahead and emphasize that to all investors, and especially how this continued to run after hours. That was super important to see that. I mean, market closed at $7.19. It ran up to about $9, and it actually sits now $1 above that closing price. So this is after our market hours. So here we are with this run, and such a bullish run. And if support was broken through, that's such a broad spectrum here of where this could be heading. And also we're still in bullish territory. So how do you kind of see or find an indicator for this? Well, what I would personally use, and it's not really your typical support level, but I like to call them support levels because when you actually zoom out, when this was running up, it kind of leveled off here. This is probably one that you can use, but that's way too far away. It was running up, it leveled off here, and then it started running again. And this would be the point of reference I would use, and I want to suggest to every single investor to go ahead and kind of slice it down the middle. It's not exactly to the middle, but it's kind of right there in that midway point at 551 to see how this stock is reacting, if it continues to break through newer lows, or is it pulling further away down closer to the 50-day moving average. So you can kind of see between our support here that we're going to talk about in just a moment and 551 how this is reacting, and if it breaks through 551, how is it reacting between 551 and the 50-day moving average, to see if it's trying to recover or are the bears tearing this one down fairly quickly. So those are some important things to keep in mind and pay close attention to as this continues to play out. So here we are with our resistance. This is probably one of the most important numbers for the bulls right now. They need to break through this, and that's 901. 901 needs to be turned into a support so that the bulls can go ahead, turn that into a support, pull away from it, reach newer highs, and pull further away from the 50-day moving average so it doesn't catch up to it. Now, 901, I emphasize that the bulls need to break through it, because if this hangs out sideways or slightly dips and kind of brings itself back up, all they're doing, right, the bulls are allowing this 50-day moving average to catch up to the price. I don't think that if this is not going in a downward direction steeply, that the 50-day moving average and the price are going to meet within one day, but it could happen, right, if the volatility takes it in that direction. But if this is just hanging out sideways and not breaking through this resistance and pulling away from it, at some point in the near future, it's going to become harder for the bulls to continue to run and for this 50-day moving average to catch up to the price, giving leverage to the bears. So that's why I emphasize that 901 needs to be broken through to reach newer highs. Now, on the other hand, we have our support, and that's 810. I highly suggest to every single investor pay very close attention to how this stock is reacting if it breaks through 810. How quickly is it hitting newer lows, and how is it reacting between 810 and our midway point here at 551 to see what is going on and who is dominating the chart. If the bulls are trying to reappear within this area, or is it breaking through that point? And now you have to look at it from 551 range down to our our 50-day moving average, which is going to be down here at the 361 mark. And you have to continue watching how this is playing out between those points, and where are the bulls actually trying to reappear, or are the bears tearing this one down. But before paying attention to any of these numbers down here, 810 is the first support level. Pay close attention to how it's reacting if it breaks through it, and how quickly are the bulls trying to reappear. And if the bulls reappear quickly, they still have to aim for this goal of breaking through 901 and turning it into a support. As always, if you found this video helpful and informative, please do so and subscribe. Don't forget to click on the bell to turn on all notifications and not miss a single video that I post. Share this with your friends and community, and don't forget to hit the like button to let me know you watched this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and let's make some money. At the end of this video, there's going to be a pop-up video, and in that video, I will be discussing about the S&P 500 index and how it's been rising several points on scheduled dates. As you see here on the graph, these circles are the dates that the pumps have happened, and I use them as examples to show you guys how much the stocks have risen, and the S&P 500 index rose on those dates. And the reason why it's rising is due to the fact that the Federal Reserve is pumping the markets. On these dates, the charts and the dates speak for themselves, as we can see it here, and I break it down into more detail in the video. But just to summarize it, on these dates, the S&P 500 rises, and there's individual ticker symbols rising up with it, anywhere from 30 cents to $3 per share. I know it may not seem like a lot, but per share that does add up, and these individual ticker symbols are giving you back profits. These are profits, and like I always say, profits are profits. Whether it's $1 put into the market and you get back $2, you've put in an initial investment and you got back more than what you started with. That's what it's all about. And also in the video, I go into further detail showing you guys these dates and showing you how much it rose. Like, for example, this was one of the last pump dates, and the lowest point that it reached was down here at 35.11, and the highest point reached was 35.57. That's like a 40-point jump. And here we're seeing the same thing. It went down to 35.88, and it rose up to about, I'd say, let's see, this is all still in the same day. It rose up to about a total amount of 36.23. When you do the math, that's almost a 40 to 50 point jump, and there's individual ticker symbols rising up with this. Now, I'm not there to guarantee you profits. I'm not there to tell you to buy, sell, or hold anything in particular. I'm just here to inform every single investor on the great news, on the opportunity to maximize profits and minimize losses. You have to do your due diligence and research, but these charts and the dates speak for themselves. I mean, this was probably one of the largest jumps that I've seen in the last couple of pumps, and it was down here at 33.02, and it rose up to about 33.88. That was an 80-point jump. There was probably ticker symbols rising up more than $3 per share on those dates. And even on these dates, there's individual ticker symbols rising more than $3 per share. Check it out, see for yourselves, and my best advice is look for ticker symbols that may be resembling the behavior of the S&P 500 index, and you'll be able to go ahead and give it a shot. Check it out. Again, I'm not there to tell you to buy, sell, or hold anything in particular. I'm not there to guarantee you profits. I'm just here to go ahead and share the information along with every single viewer and investor. The video should be popping up soon. If you haven't seen it already, pop up. There is the link down below in the description. Thank you guys so much for watching, and let's make some money.